Live. Okay, great. Good. All right, thanks everybody for joining the Scrum. Hinesh, you were first on board. You want
Yeah,
to go?
just a quiet one for me, really. Just picked up a story on MetPlus for the resume test, resume model aspect test, and that's it for me, really. No blockers at the moment.
Okay, good, great. By the way, Michael said he's going to join us. He's looking for a quiet place. Haven't heard back from Arun. Sage, you want to go ahead?
Sure. I have been giving some feedback on some pull requests from two of the prospective interns for this next round of Google Summer of Code and Outreachy. So there's one that came in over the weekend that is like a interesting one that's sort of a like basically pure Ruby and like sort of object composition, object-oriented design type thing that I think would be like an interesting thing for people to like look at and give some feedback on if people are looking for that kind of opportunity. I gave some comments of where I thought it could go, but I think that like it'd be a good code review opportunity for people who want to do that kind of thing. And last week I spent some time kind of playing around with and sketching out possible ways to like build out the features on the little My Articles section, which highlights for like a student which articles they're involved with. So instead of just like listing those and letting them add and remove them, to add some more features around like kind of scaffolding their assignment. So like giving them some tools that say, hey, this is where you can like start a sandbox for it, and this is like a link to the talk page for it, and this is like the page view history of it, and then eventually that could also be sort of the place from which we add some of the features, like giving some automatic feedback for it, or structuring things around like seeing what feedback other people have said about it, sort of pulling that from Wikipedia. So I'm just kind of playing around with how we might repurpose the existing components right now, but that may go somewhere sometime soon. And then also working with the designer who's making some progress on like the authorship highlighting tool that I've talked about in the past. That's about it for now.
Okay. And that code review said that's an existing PR in WikiEd, is that right?
Yeah, that's right. It's a get article rating through page assessments API.
Okay, cool. I'll take a look at that. So, hi, Arun. Hi, Michael. Arun, you want to go next?
Hi, Pat.
Hi.
Hi, Patrick.
We're in the middle of Scrum. Yeah, can you hear me? We can hear you.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah.
You want to just give an update?
So I don't really have anything to share. Maybe I'll have something tomorrow.
Well, that's good information.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, definitely.
Okay. Okay.
So
yeah, I was just saying that I couldn't.
Yeah, go ahead, Arun.
Yeah, I was just saying I couldn't. Maybe I shouldn't use the word busy, but I couldn't spend time on stuff that I assigned myself. So I'll be doing today. So I don't have any update to share.
Okay, yeah, no problem. Hey, we're all volunteers, right? But you saw that Sage was wondering about the PR, excuse me, the story that you've got underway. Any update on that?
Yeah, I just have to get the front-end validation done, and I think it should be simple. As Sage helped me out, I think it's simple. I'll do it.
Oh, great, good. So you're unblocked. That's great. Good to hear. Thanks, Arun. Appreciate it. All right, Michael. Hi.
Hey, everybody. Yeah, sorry I haven't been online much past weeks. Just getting resettled in Germany again. So right now, Still working on the ticket 1187, the one with the alerts.
Yep.
Yep. So I just took a look at the advice Sage gave me last time, and trying to implement it right now. So yeah, I mean, there's still just ran into some, I guess, Ruby Foundations kind of issues that's kind of blocking me. So I'm just looking up how to get around that.
Okay. Do you want to spend time on that after the Scrum, or do you want to kick it around yourself first, see if you can solve it? Either way is fine.
Yeah, I was working on it for the past hour. I didn't. I guess I got somewhere. So I mean, either way is fine for me as well. I mean, it's definitely good learning experience just to dig around myself. But if you guys want to give off some tips, it would probably speed up some of that learning as well.
Okay, well, why don't we just spend a few minutes on it after the Scrum then?
Sure.
Give you more advice than you want, and hopefully maybe even help you. But what we can do is just kind of just give general thoughts at this point. And, you know, I find myself sometimes if I'm stuck, it's helped to get a little advice and then go off by myself and work it. Also, you know, we could connect up tomorrow. I'm on the East Coast of the U.S., so I'm closer to you than, you know, most folks in the U.S., and I get up early anyway. So anyway,
Okay.
Feel free to reach out and we can connect up.
Sure.
Okay, cool. So that's great. Good to hear, Michael. I'm glad that you're back settled in Germany. All the time zone changes underway and all that. So
Yeah.
good thing. For myself, so I've been working on the Swedish dog industries project. Working on a story there. I just delivered an updated PR a little while ago. So hopefully that goes well. And on Met Plus, I've been reviewing a lot of PRs. I've merged at least one or two this past weekend. We're making really good progress on the UI redesign implementation. I have to actually look at how many stories are left, but the UI is looking better and better every day because of that stuff. So it's really interesting to see. And you guys know that we're getting the client into production. Hua has spent a significant amount of time in the last week or so setting up a production environment in Heroku and give them an empty database except for foundational data, et cetera. We're going to move them onto that. So I think we're looking for a time for the three of us, Hua, the client, myself, to get together this week and get rolling on that. And I probably offered the client to meet with him for 5 minutes every day, you know, while he's learning the system. So that's good. And I think that's pretty much it for me. No blockers on my side either. So unless anybody else has got anything, that would be it. For Scrum.
Patrick, can we connect up quickly? The story I picked up, I'm struggling how to pass the test or about the test or even.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, why don't we spend a few minutes on Michael's story first?
Perfect.
Yeah, and then we'll take a look at what you've got. All right, cool. Michael, do you want to
Sure.
share your
screen?
screen?
I'll share screen. Yep.
Okay.
All right. Is it coming up?
Looks like it is, yeah.
Okay. So let me go to my code. So it was basically, it was this module. And Sage, you said the problem was before I didn't have a parameter, I guess, to capture the values. And so basically I went in here, I just added this alert parameter, like you said. And then I was trying to figure out when you're calling this, let me see, where does it go? So my thinking was I'll drop the module into this alerts list controller here. You could tell me if I'm on the right track or not. Oops.
Yeah, I mean, I think that there was some disagreement about how Rails actually behaves or how it ought to behave in terms of like whether it's necessary to do that. But I think you're like conceptually, it's all good so far.
Okay. Let's try that. Okay, so I'll just think out loud. So when a user clicks on, when they go in here, they'll be in the index view. Here. And once they get to this point, okay, so the alert display method should
So you're trying to, you'd be calling an alert display helper method from the index view, right, Michael?
from here, right?
Yeah, there you go, that last line, 17.
Yeah, okay.
Because it's a helper, it can't be an alert instance method, so you'll have to pass alert in as an argument to the method, as opposed to alert display. Just call alert display parentheses alert.
Okay.
So you were trying to call it as an instance method, but it's a helper method. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm just
These are
trying to think back.
Yeah, everybody
as
gets
far
caught
as-
up in these things when you first start doing this stuff. It's natural.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever actually intentionally used an instance method before. I mean, I heard of simpleton methods or instance variables.
Line 13 is using an instance method. Alert
Okay.
is an instance of the alert class, and it's got an attribute called created@. And it's an instance method call.
Okay. Let's go back. And that's from the model, right?
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so basically everything in that model, all those are instance methods that are available only to instances of the alert class. So any alert object, you can call those methods on it.
Okay.
The confusing thing you might have, Michael, if you look at the alert model definition, you won't. We saw you don't see explicitly other than in the comments. Somebody was nice to put in these comments here. So the attributes are all created in the schema, and so what Rails does is it takes each of those attributes and creates reader and writer methods that are available as instance methods. That happens magically behind the scenes. So that's why you don't see the actual instance methods for reading and writing those attributes. It's just part of the Rails scaffolding that it creates.
Okay. So you can read and write these from anywhere in the program. You're saying?
Yeah, even though you haven't defined a method to allow you to read or write it.
Okay.
Yeah. A lot of magic going on sometimes.
Yeah, it's that magic that always gets me tripped up.
It makes you but it also just says, "What the hell's going on here?" You spend 15 minutes figuring out what is going on.
Yeah.
So you realize you don't need to worry about it.
All right. So going back to here, since okay, now that I'm calling it the parameter, I guess let me trace it back. Then it'll go to.
So that's your helper method. So if you look at alerts helper.rb,
Yeah.
you're calling it with that alert object.
Okay. So whichever alert that comes in, whether it's resolvable or not. Now, let's see, is this correct then? If alert.resolvable?
So there was a discussion on the logic of that. I think Arun had some final logic he posted in the PR. Right now, I think you may have a problem in that alert. If the alert is resolvable, question mark is true, but it's already been resolved, then alert resolvable question mark will be false. So you have to worry about that, right?
Wait,
But
sorry.
anyway,
could you say that once more?
if an alert is resolvable, where the predicate method, resolvable question mark, I'm calling it a predicate method, right? So if the predicate method
What's
is
a
called,
predicate method?
it's basically just a method with a question mark after it.
Okay.
You know, like, so if an alert is resolvable, such that it responds to resolvable true, but it'll answer true to alert resolvable question mark if it is resolvable and it hasn't been resolved yet. It'll answer false to alert resolvable question mark if it had been resolvable but it's already resolved. You see what I'm saying? So there's a nuance to the logic there that has to be taken into account. And there was a good discussion back and forth between Arun and Sajal, I believe, in the PR, or Arun and myself, I forget. But anyway, I think Arun ended up with some good logic there. I don't necessarily think he proved it out yet. You may want to look at the comment in the PR.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's pretty much the only thing standing in the way then. Right?
It looks like you got everything ready to go, except just make sure this logic works.
Okay.
And I'd say just bounce it against what's in the PR, like I mentioned.
That piece of PR that's in the comments on the waffle board then?
Your pull request. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
So there's a bunch of different places we put comments. Your pull request has been reviewed by Sajal and by Arun, and they had some good comments in there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you didn't know that? Well, great. I'm glad we talked about it. Yeah, let's do that. Go to the top and click on pull requests. Oh, it says, oh, I'm sorry. You've got your own repo there. Go to the project repo. There you go. Where are you?
Oh, I see.
Which one is this?
There's some comments here.
Yeah, scroll down. That explains it. You haven't been seeing this discussion that's been underway.
Yeah, I had no idea. Because
So smart people have put some stuff in there. And I put some stuff in there too. So you should take a look at this.
I guess it's probably due to me being undescribed here. Oh, wait.
Well, yeah, generally you just know, you should get notification in the project notification channel. It's called, Wiki edu notify or something. But you just look for it. You just know when you post a PR, people will be looking at it, and once in a while just go check and see if anybody's posted comments. So I'm so glad that you asked about this, because this is really an important part of the process. So see at the top there, Sajal made a comment there. See her picture on the left, and then you scroll down, you see some more comments.
Yeah, this is really helpful. Oh, man.
This is really good, and you'll learn more from both reviewing PRs as well as looking at PR review comments and anything else.
Yeah.
Yep.
Great. Yeah. So let me. I guess I'll take my time to really read through these then.
Yeah, there's some good thoughts there. So that was what I meant when I was saying look at the comments in the story. I should have said in the PR pull request.
Yeah.
But that's our primary mechanism.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm just surprised I didn't get any notifications. Usually when I log into GitHub, I would see like some star or something in your profile.
You thought we were ignoring you?
Oh, no. No, I mean,
I'm kidding.
Sage already answered my question, so I thought I was just waiting for me to implement the changes.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the benefits of being on a team.
Yeah, definitely.
Stuff like this. Yeah, absolutely. Well, anyway, I think you're looking good. I mean, all you got to do is look at the comments on the logic of the method, and compare that against your logic, and you may want to make some changes. But the rest of the structure looks like it's good to go.
All right.
From what we can see, from what I can see.
Yeah. And just to let you know, I mean, for it's still pretty busy over here. I mean, just because I'm also trying to look for jobs as well, so my availability is going to be on and off.
Oh, okay.
Project. So yeah, for like attending Scrum, I'll try to attend, but yeah, the timing's a little. It's right during the busy time. But I mean, I'll definitely just post on status on Slack, like last time when I asked Sage for help. I could do that, no problem.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, just let you know. Yeah.
Or like I said, I'm always available early in the morning, typically my time, which would be midday your time. So also we can connect up that way if you want. Yeah.
That's
Everybody's in the same boat, you know. Sometimes we can attend and sometimes we can't. So no worries.
okay. Great.
All right, cool. So anything else? Michael, maybe we can switch to Inesh's question.
Yeah, I think I'm done here. So let me. How do I unshare?
I will stop you as the presenter. So,
Okay.
Yep. So Hinesh, did you want to? Oh, you're already starting to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's this one here after test for, but I don't know which file to test it on because. But how does this code even work to begin with? There's this method here.
How does it even work? Oops, lost it. There we go. So this is the resume model, and we're overriding the save method. So what are we doing here? First, we're validating it, and we just give up. We say false. It's not save returns false if the model itself is not valid. If it is valid, then we call this super, the save method in the super, the super class on it.
Is the active record.base.
Yep. So let's see. So if super says it can't save it for whatever reason, or we decide it's not valid, we just give up, and the save method here returns false, which prevents it from being saved.
So does it throw an exception every time, or is it just random?
No, it won't throw an exception. So we don't even capture an exception until line 37. So we have a begin clause at line 36. And what we're doing here, so we've saved, presumably when we get to this point, we've saved the record locally to our database.
Yeah.
What we need to do now is access an external service, the resume cruncher, to load the saved resume in to the service itself. So we invoke an API. If you followed resume cruncher upload resume, it invokes the service API, which in turn talks through HTTP to the cruncher.
Okay.
And then that resume cruncher uploads resume returns either true or false. So if it returns true, we saved, and we're good to go.
If it returns false, then we throw the error.
Actually, I misspoke. Judging from this logic, and I think if I remember, if it fails, it issues an exception, and that's why we've got the begin clause to capture the exception. It doesn't return false. It raises an exception. So if it can't successfully save the resume to the external service, then we go into the rescue clause, and then we add an error to the model so that Rails knows that this model could not be saved, and it's going to present, an error message to the user. And then line 40, because we couldn't save it to the external service, we also want to remove the record from our local database because those have to be in tandem. Yeah. We're trying to, almost like a database transaction spanning a local database and an external service is what we're trying to mimic here. So the destroy says, well, gee, I couldn't save the external service. I'm going to actually delete it from my local database as well. And then we raise the exception again, and it's handled further upstream in whatever way it's handled. I forget how that goes. But that's what's going on here. Really, it's all about if we can save the resume locally, and we can save the resume in the external service, then we're good to go. If we can do neither, or we can do one but not the other, then we undo everything. And we either return false or we raise an exception. That's what's really going on there.
Let me open the spec up quickly.
This is a kind of a classic problem where you want to save a record locally, but as a companion to that, you also want to make a record change in an external service. And because we can't have the concept of a database transaction spanning both data stores, because they're not both relational databases, right?
Mhm.
We have to do things like that, which look kind of funny, but that's what's going on. Does that
So Patrick, I have a question.
Yeah. Yes.
Patrick?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
so no, it's Arun. So why are we trying to destroy the record?
Oh,
So
I'm sorry,
if
Arun.
if it is a new record, it might not even persist in the database. So what is the need for calling destroy before even knowing whether it's update or create? Is my question next?
Yeah. So what is the reason of calling? So you're saying if we successfully saved at one point the resume and the resume in the external service, and then we actually call an update, which also will involve save, right?
Yeah.
Then if we can't save the update to the local database because something is incorrect, then we're still going to remove it from the external service, and the local copy is going to be destroyed. That's a good question. I don't know. I don't think we actually ever update a resume. We save it, we serve it out, and we delete it. I don't think we ever really update it.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is that can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah. So if someone is trying to create a new record, it's only persisted in memory, right? So calling destroy on it isn't going to do anything.
If
the it
no,
just
it
consider the
will.
case when
It will. No, it will, because if you look at that, if we could look at that method again, the save method again, Ganesh?
This one here?
Yeah. It will have been saved locally because we're calling super at line 35, which saves the record. So we're calling the save method in the super class, which will save the record. And if that...
Oh, wait a second. So
yeah, line 35 is where we're doing that. So it's been saved. If we continue on...
I'm still thinking. So thinking about the logic. So it's not super, right? So
super
it should
will
either return true or false, right?
Super will return true if it's successfully saved, or false if it didn't.
Yeah.
So not false is true. So if the or clause is true, then we just return false for the whole method. So if we get past the not valid, so the record's valid, it's savable, and then we call the save method of the superclass, and it will return. Let's say it saves it, so it returns true. So not true is false, or false is not true, so we continue on with the method.
Yeah, makes sense. So it's
it's all kind of convoluted logic, but once you think...
yeah. So we are creating the record and then trying to contact the external service. Yeah, okay, makes sense.
Exactly. If we fail to contact the external service, we want to undo the record create, because we want to have synchronicity between the external service and our local database.
So wrapping this whole thing inside a transaction would do, right? I mean, it's...
Well, we can't do that. If we actually could involve a transaction that involved the relational database locally and an external service API remotely, and have the transaction manager manage go ahead or undo, rollback in effect, that'd be great. But there is no such thing. So we have to simulate that kind of behavior by this kind of logic. That's what's going on here. If we had two local relational databases, let's say an Oracle and a Postgres, and we could get a transaction manager that sits on top of both of those, and it could just do, rollback or commit on both sides, and it would manage that synchronizing for us. But we don't have that.
I was thinking about, I think I get it. I was thinking about the first line, where we have an early return. So if the record isn't valid, super isn't going to, it isn't going to return true. So why do we need to have a conditional? Or maybe
remember, it's short circuit, so if it's not valid, we don't execute the super save.
Oh, it's
if not valid,
but it's
true.
Oh, okay.
It's short circuits, right? It will return immediately after if not valid returns true. It won't execute the super. Remember, it's short circuits.
It's not valid. Yeah, it does. I mean, okay, got it.
Yeah, it's kind of because you think it goes through the whole logic, but
so one thing
we're relying upon it short circuiting. Sorry, Sage.
One thing that kind of jumps out here, right, is like given how hard it was to piece through what those booleans were doing, this should probably go on 2 lines: return false if not valid, and then do the super thing after that, and make it that this is where it's saved in the database, even with a comment there, because this is going to trip up many people about that line. That's a confusing line.
Yep, absolutely. As evidence, we just talked about it, and yeah, definitely could do some refactoring to improve the readability of this.
Okay, let me give that a go.
But anyway, that's essentially what's going on in Ash. All you need to know is if you can save successfully locally, then you don't need to worry about whether the external service that also needs to know about the resume has been updated.
Okay. So
and if you can't save successfully, then both local as well as external service have not been saved too, and we're good to go. Was that basically your question? What that obscure bit of code is doing? Anything else on this? Dinesh, you're muted. Sounds like maybe we're good to go.
Yeah, we're good to go. Sorry, I didn't realize I was muted.
Not a problem.
What I'll do is I'll have to just raise an exception, basically, to try and simulate an exception. That'll give me my error, and then we're good.
What you could do is you could stub out the external service call to return an error indication. Which we do have stub methods.
Yeah.
If you want to look at that real quickly, we can point you at that.
Is that up here?
So if you look at the RSpec folder.
Here we go. Stub contra. Is that the one?
Yeah, so I was just going to show you where they are
in
the folder structure.
Spec.
No, it's. Do you have an editor where you can see kind of on the left-hand frame
yeah, give me a second.
A folder tree?
There you go.
It'd be kind of easier to look at that. Yeah, good. So spec. Support. Service stub helpers.
Okay, so there was here.
Yeah, so you're going to have to call stub cruncher authenticate line 8 first because you need to authenticate before you can talk.
Yep.
And then you're going to have to, if you scroll down, there should be something about, you're doing a file upload, which is what the resume update really represents.
Maybe this one here then.
So file upload error is probably it. Yep.
Okay, perfect.
It will raise an error for you, which is what you're looking for.
Yep. Okay, cool. We're good to go.
And because we just have a begin clause, we're not specify. We have a rescue clause. We don't specify, I don't think, the error we're trying to rescue. It's just a catch-all. A runtime error will result in the rescue clause being invoked.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Cool. That's perfect.
But that's essentially the structure. Yeah, you got it.
Perfect. Cool. We're good to go here.
All right. Good. All right. Anybody else have anything? Guess not. Okay, well, thanks, everybody.
Thanks. Bye.
We'll talk again tomorrow. Take care.
Thanks.
Thank you all.
Bye now.